POS show yo. Yo, it's POS with Pat and Bobby. News so wild it's never sloppy. Talk the truth, don't make it snobby. Who's the POS? We getting choppy. POS show yo.
I wish it would fade. It's always like POS. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's been a while. Whatever the fucking song is. So we couldn't do Tuesday. Did you do something Tuesday? No, you didn't do anything Tuesday.
No, we didn't do anything.
We had no show. No one cared. It's fine. The world is fine and no one cares. And a comic once wrote to me a couple weeks ago because I literally made a joke on their joke post. It wrote back, "Hey, fuck you. Why don't you focus on your podcast that gets 30 listens? Welcome to the POS podcast, everybody." And thanks, Derek Santos. I'm happy that you lost a long time ago on America's Got Talent.
Damn.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm kind of glad we didn't fade now because we came out the gates like snap.
Yeah, I've been battling a lot of folks. I had Tom Myers. But he won't battle me. But he's mad that I said stuff I saw in comments. But he battles everyone else and yells at Carl, but just kind of goes, "Oh, it's okay if Pat does it because he's a comedian." It's like, I don't know. I don't think it's okay. But people battling. I'm in a feisty mood. Why not? I wrote. I'm gonna cover it in a story, but I wrote a comment on my radio station's page that got tons of likes. So I don't know if that's a good thing for me or a bad thing for me. So I think I just sent it to you, Bobby. I think I found my album cover.
Oh no. Let me see.
But if anyone follows me on Facebook or Instagram, it's my profile picture. But all I'll do is take the 99.1 PLR thing, put the name of the album in that spot where I'm holding it.
That would be great.
I was lucky enough to be appearing at the Guilford Fair, and they had a bunch of things like a trapeze artist and camels and stuff. For some reason, there was a sign. I looked for it. Big sign said Donkey Show. Not what I've heard what donkey shows are. That wasn't there. Maybe it was just regular donkey. I didn't find any Mexicans or nothing. But I stood there. I made the guy who's the camera guy and the street team guy go come with me and take pictures. Like, we're doing this. And I stood there, and you could see a man staring at me, pointing at the donkey show sign. And behind us are a lot of kids and flips and stuff. So yeah, I think it describes what I am in a world full of madness. Here I am pointing out the right things.
Dude, I love this. I just pulled it up so we can show people.
Sorry. I think this might be the album cover.
I can see that 1,000,000%. We just got to put an album there, whatever we call it.
Right. And now I just have to figure out what that is. I got to listen to it once more just to get the name I want to pull out. I have an idea, but when I listened back on the video that I had, because we did 4 shows, there's one phrase I said I thought throughout the whole weekend. But when I listened, it's one phrase. Maybe I missed it. I might not have said it in the one we're going to do. And I'm like, God damn it. If that's the case, that would suck. But I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, how are you, sir? You're in a different location.
Yeah, I'm in the sweetest place on earth.
Disney?
No, that's the happiest place on earth.
Oh.
I like
Selena Gomez's bosom?
I was going to make a pussy joke.
Oh, okay. I went bosom to be nice.
No, Hershey. So I'm hanging out with the folks.
Oh, my picture. I thought somebody was joining us also named Bobby, and we're just putting up my picture. Yeah,
I was just showing it for you.
No, so everybody can see it. Yeah. So if you have to like look in closer, but it says Donkey Show. And then right above it, the EMS, I think it's for medical help.
Yeah, first aid. It's the same direction. I wonder why.
You know what? You need it there. So
it's like, I'm not trying to stereotype, but I know where the problem at this festival is going to be, and it's going to be the Donkey Show.
It was a good time, though. People came up, said hello. I was only there for a couple hours. It was on Sunday. Your typical, food fair and stupid animals and shit. But it's nice that I haven't been on that morning show of theirs since February. And everyone's like, "You're my favorite guy on that show." And I haven't been on there since February. They're like, "Oh, yeah. Well, we don't listen much."
February is when I will listen heaviest.
That's when we replay. All we do is replay February whenever they're on vacation.
Whenever I'm
I
down,
have been told that I do get every time they're on vacation. There's clips of me, and I'm like, okay.
Of course, you're the GOAT.
I don't think it's a real reason why. I think it's just we pulled this one. I don't think there's really rhyme or reason to it.
They should have put an arrow down in your picture that said "Goat Show" and it could just point to you.
Or the Oat Show.
That would be too easy. It'd be too convenient.
Ocho Cinco. That should be
Cinco de
When I make
Ocho.
it, wait, say Cinco 5 or 8?
5.
All right, then my next album, Ocho Cinco, because that'd be my 5th one.
Cinco de Ocho. I like that.
Then
The
that's
fifth of
too
the Ocho.
Spanish. Nobody will go then.
Well, just
What
play
is this, Connecticut? It's becoming too Mexican. Dude, so many people I know have been saying that, but it really is true. I have no problem with it because the food is becoming better.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have the best tacos around.
Not even tacos. I know the stereotype is that Mexicans do all the labor jobs, but Mexicans also have learned how to cook all cuisine. Some of the best chefs in the world are Mexican, and they don't make tacos. Some of the best Italian chefs are Mexican. Some of the best French chefs are Mexican because they work really hard and they take instruction well. It's not really bad stereotypes. You know what I mean? It's like, but sometimes the instruction is kill that guy or take my radio. So like that part's not good. But then when it's like other things like cook this meal, they're like, see.
They're like, I can cook this legally and not get in trouble. That's amazing.
Meth. A meth head to my madness. Is that my 6th album?
I mean, if you stay off the meth heads.
Hello, Treasure. Hello, Terry. Hello, Juggalos. All cooks in New York, in my city are Mexican. I don't think all of them are, but like 90%.
Speaking of, and this is absolutely a way for me to segue into a humble brag, but speaking of people from South America taking over cultures that aren't their own, I got to do Frantic Monday night.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
You do realize Mexico is nowhere near South America, correct?
Southern America.
Southern. I know half the South just got very mad at that statement. No one in Alabama is like, we love Bobby now.
I sent a text earlier.
What you say, South America? South America isn't us. We're South America. They're just fucking big booties and broken dreams.
That is a fair point. I was trying to think of a polite way to say, but the language isn't Hispanic, so they wouldn't be Hispanics or Latin. But anyway, so I was at Frantic. I got to close the show out. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great comics. Some might say too many, but that wasn't me. Dan Lamont did. That's why I got to close it out. He was like, I got to go home. They closed the tunnel. I'm not trying to be here all night, but it worked out in my favor. But there was an Irish guy. And in a long show, you can sense when the energy's kind of left the room. You know what I'm talking about, where the audience.
Who was the Irish guy?
His name was David something. He was a famous guy. He introduced.
Shit, I know his name too. Yeah, I know he was in the area for like a couple months. He's very funny.
Dude, the only reason I know his name was David is he just treated me as a comedian. Like he came up and was like, "You're a comic, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You've been watching the show," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, I think the energy's gone. What do you think?" And I was like, "Honestly, man, I think the guy on stage is funny. They're laughing, but he's low energy. If you go in there and you're just a little higher energy, I don't think they're done. I think you can get this room ruckus again." And he was like, "You think so?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he goes on stage. He's doing high energy. The audience is kind of in, and a woman who has not stopped talking to her 2 friends the whole show chimes up and won't stop talking. So he looks over and goes, "Oh, you must be an American, right?" Because he's super Irish. David Allen.
Okay, I was looking it up. You got it first. Okay, good.
Terry Nee put it in the chat. Terry Nee beat me to it. So
I got David in the Hill. That's not it.
What's David Nahill look like? Just can you show me the pic on the screen? I'll tell you.
Ben Bailey.
I think it might have. No, it's David Allen.
Okay.
He had hair.
This real tight top. Like looks like the gym teacher from fucking Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, it might be either one, but whoever it was very funny. Whoever it was very funny. So they go on stage. The woman's chiming up. He goes, "You must be an American." She goes, "No, actually, I'm Brazilian." And he goes, "Bullshit." And then for the next minute, nonstop, uses every swear word, every insult he can in Portuguese at this Brazilian woman. Not only did she shut up, I think she fell in love. Like the whole crowd went nuts. It blew the lid off the room, and it was like, holy shit. And then the joke that ended his set that kind of like was like, yeah, they're back was, and you guys probably are like, why does this Irish guy know how to speak Portuguese? And he's like, because all these goddamn Venezuelans are migrating to my country. And to be honest, women are way hotter than the Irish women. I'm tired of Irish women. I want to get a big booty Brazilian.
Jeez.
So, according to Terry, David Allen died in 2005.
I don't ever want a big booty Brazilian.
So you were probably right. It was probably David Gill, but very funny.
No, it could be either one. Oh, he died. It could be him.
The ghost of David Allen came and blew the lid off of Frantic for me. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
very
David
funny.
Hill is somebody I saw the name that was like being advertised in different little dumb things. You know, like when an Irish comic, anyone from Europe comes over and they think we're gonna take over America, and then they just do like 8 shitty spots. I'm not saying the stand is, but I'm just saying like they're not doing the theaters they thought they were gonna do.
No, I liked him because he was acting like a comedian. Like he was having fun. He wasn't. Sometimes when you get those Europeans, they think they're better than everybody, and so they're like, "Why am I not doing theaters?" This guy was just like, "We're at the stand, hell yeah!" And I was like, "I'm thinking the same thing."
I guess I have to ask, what is acting like a comedian?
Like not a celebrity. So like if you and I were hanging out, we have a conversation. But some guys come and act like they're still in whatever country they're the king of. And my point is, it was just like one of the guys. He was just hanging out with everybody. He wasn't trying to be like, you know what I mean, alienating or anything like that. I'm very endearing to when guys don't go like, what level are you at? Oh, let me either kiss up to you or ignore you, depending on that. It's more like, oh, you're a comedian? I'm a comedian. Yeah, back home, I can't walk in the streets without people screaming my name. But here, we're both just comedians. I think that's amazing.
I mean, don't name any names if you don't want to, but if you want to, that'd be awesome. But like, is any comedian really ever, and I don't mean exactly the way you worded it, but like, has any comedian ever like said to you, like, what level are you at?
No. But the New York scene is entirely kind of built on that. A lot of scenes are like the guy who's hot now, everybody's trying to hang out with, and if nobody knows,
I think it's more the other comics do that to them. I think the comic, sometimes when you're getting any little push at all, a tiny one or a bigger one, I think when you're in the midst of the wave, if you will, you don't see it. You're just busy. So it's other people afterwards telling you that. I think sadly, most times that people hear about it or think about it is when it's over.
Yeah, that's true too. I didn't,
because there's guys that have, and to be truthful, it's not over. They've just done the thing that makes them have to promote nonstop and be out there. Like I'm sure people probably, I mean, take a name for example. We see Shane Gillis less now.
Oh,
he's not on every single fucking podcast in the world because he doesn't need to be now. You know what I mean? But just like every great product, every great comedian or every great celebrity will put themselves out there just to remind you, hey, this great thing is still here. So you'll see, like, for example, like the other day I was making a joke to my girlfriend. It was like Reese's peanut butter cups had like 10 commercials in a row. And I was like, I think we know. You know what I mean? I think everyone knows it's a great taste. It's the best candy. It goes well, but it's just like there's still once in a while, like especially in their main times, like, hey, I know we rule. I know you eat us every day, but motherfuckers, on Halloween we got a pumpkin one too. It's like I know we got a pumpkin one because all white women are like, where's the pumpkin one? And I hope they have big bags of it with little ones inside because we don't want a big one. We just want a big bag with little ones in it so we can pretend like we're eating well. They have to let you know all the time. Coca-Cola. They did it. You know what I mean? Like, they did it. Like, they could never advertise again, and people call soda Coke. You know what I mean? They fucking owned it. Like, they did it incredibly. Kleenex. But they're still putting their shit out there. So, I think, like, with a name, like, a bigger name, like, if Shane Gillis dropped by the stand, it probably wouldn't even advertise it. It would just pop by the stand, and then wouldn't take videos. But, like, 3 years ago, would take a video up front. They would push the thing. They would do whatever. But I don't think his demeanor wouldn't change because the only thing that would change was how he's being shuttled in and out. He may not be able to talk. So I've dealt with some comedians that are at that level where I haven't been able to talk to them. And it's not their fault. It's just the people and everything around them going, hey, I know you're opening for so-and-so, but they have to be over there and they don't have time to speak with you even though they're the opener. Like, that's fine. It's not like I wanted to talk to this human anyway because at the end of the day, they're just some fucking person. Everybody's just some fucking person.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. And I think a good point too is a lot of people heard the horror stories of people being divas, like as they were coming on. They're like, I'm not going to do that. So a lot of people, you're surprised when they're nice just because you've heard
I
the horror
think
stories.
I do think they hear the story, and I think they want to be conscious, but it's very hard not to be when everyone else. I don't think you know you're a diva till it's too. Same thing with the other thing. I don't think you know you're a diva until it's too late, because your whole life you're just asking for the answer yes. You're young, you're struggling. Yeah, I want a yes. I'm getting a no. I'm getting a no, and then you just start getting yeses, and you start getting used to yeses, and then the people around you become yes men and yes women. And you don't realize that. You're just now thinking, oh, I'm clicking on all cylinders. So when someone does say no, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. And then right there, you're like, someone goes, you're a fucking diva. You won't fucking. So, well, I'm not really a diva. It's not what I'm used to. I'm not used to someone saying no. So I'm like, fuck off. Or me saying, like, or they're not making decisions anymore. They've got more people speaking for them. That's where 90% of the diva shit comes from, is that other people are now speaking for you.
That's a good point. And that kind of goes back to the idea of other people are the ones treating them that way, not you.
And I think what's most important of this whole story is that I think you learned a lot about Irish people.
They're the
Irish
shit.
people will never, they're not the shit in any way. They're drunks and they're awful human beings. But
The shit.
they won't brag or expect anyone to say they're great because they know deep down they aren't. When our cuisine is the fucking dirt fucking rock, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, when our biggest when our biggest tourist thing is kissing a fucking rock, everything sucks. Here's a dark ass beer that people pretend tastes good, but it's just bitter. It's like everything. Our women are too freckled. It's not good. So that guy can't show up and be like, you know, I'm a big deal in a place where the sun doesn't even like to go. Who gives a fuck?
That's so true. As you were sitting, I'm half Irish. So as you were sitting there, like, and then people are just like, yes. And you're like, I am the shit. I was like, nope. I've never had that thought.
Nope, never.
But
all right.
anyway,
I'm going to start off, if you don't mind today.
I don't
with a thing about me.
want to talk
Speaking
about
of being
me.
humble, here's a
Here's
story about me. Okay, so to back up a little bit, you know that recently Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters fame has been in the news, correct?
Yes, he cheated.
You know
on his
what
wife.
for?
He cheated on his wife.
But not only cheated on his wife, supposedly also there might be a child.
Oh,
That the one that said that part, that's been rumored, but like, they definitely cheated on his wife. And with a woman for a little while. When I was at the Guilford Fair, we were giving away tickets. We had chances to win tickets to 3 different events. But one of them, we have a Soundside music festival that happens every year. It used to be called Sound by Sound. Last year, the Chili Peppers were at it. Lance Morissette, I got to go to it. It was pretty cool. This year, they changed the name to Soundside. It's a different name. And because they've added more things. It's not just rock. It's like Teddy Swims is going to be there, pop groups. There's 2 days. But the big headliner, the one they named, the Foo Fighters, were doing it on one night. So people were going nuts for tickets, whatever. We were giving away that day. A guy walked up to me and said, he goes, it's kind of crazy, huh? What happened to that guy? I'm like, oh, yeah, a rock star cheating on his wife? That's nuts. And the guy just looks at me. I'm like, yeah, have you heard of everyone else? Like, who gives a fuck? If anything, it kind of gave the Foo Fighters an edge because they haven't had one since his friend died.
It's the edge of that bullet.
Right, that's it. So, but that was Sunday. As of today, according to blabbermouth.net and many other publications, but I like blabbermouth.net for all my music needs and news. The Foo Fighters have pulled out of this weekend. The Foo Fighters pulled out of this weekend's Southside Music Festival. So they're supposed to be there this Sunday. It's
Dave
Wednesday.
Grohl should have pulled out and could have solved this whole problem.
Guess what you just ruined?
Oh no. Ben Costa's headline?
No, this isn't a Ben Costa headline. This was the post by WPLR. And they put it up on there and said, Foo Fighters pull out of the weekend Southside Music Festival. And I wrote underneath, now he pulls out. And it got more likes than anything else on that post. It's got more likes than the actual post itself. I was told I won the internet today. And it's a very simple joke, but very happy. The reason why I bring this up is not to brag that I put up a post in a comment. The question is this. I work for 99.1 WPLR. They have been advertising this thing like crazy. They're posting that to let people know, hey, we probably may want your refund, but we're kind of posting this to also let you know all the other great musicians are going to be there. Don't pull out, don't sell your tickets, don't whatever, go to the thing. I'm not a full-time person. I'm barely on the radio, but I'm on there. I do appearances, all that. But then I make a comment like this, not shitting on them in any way, but making a joke of the whole thing. And also, as a person that works there, not that I have any say or anything, David Grohl, not that he would ever see this. It's like, oh, now they're shitting on me? I'm not coming to Connecticut anymore. Thanks, radio station. So, who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it 99 PLR for putting up an article that says pull out? The second they did that, everyone's like, someone's gonna make that joke. I just beat everyone to the punch. I'm not saying it was original. I just got there first. Is it me for putting that there on their PLR page? I could have shared it very easily and then done it on my own page by writing, well, at least he pulled out. But nope, I did a comment in their thing because they have way more followers than I do and did that. Or is it also the people on TikTok? Because when I took the picture of that and I put it on TikTok, it's got a couple thousand views right now, and I only put it up like 25 minutes ago.
Hell yeah.
Or is it David Grohl? Don't cheat on your wife. Who is a piece of shit in the story?
So it's not you.
Okay.
And it's not me. It's a great joke. Like I apologize for stepping on your toes.
I was kidding. I'm happy you said it because everyone.
No.
I'm sure everyone thought it right away the way it's worded. So it was a softball waiting to be hit. So it's even better that you said it because then therefore that's why everyone's liking it because it was that easy to do.
And it's such a good joke. So it's also not you because that's your role on the radio. You are a funny guy.
It was when I was on the morning show. It's not my role as the weekend guy who says, here's the song. So it's not my role there.
But I would argue beyond that, it's your role in life. That's what you've chosen to be and do. And what
an
better
asshole?
way?
Yeah, as a troll.
You would have made that joke on air. Would you not? If they had presented this
yes,
to you,
and then they would have asked me to not be on the air.
Okay, but the point being, like, that's the level of humor you're going to hear on the show. What better way to illustrate the humor?
But now you keep pushing that part, and that's what makes me even more piece of shit.
Oh,
and we've talked about this. I'm not on that show. I've actually been asked not to. So if you were wording this as that was my personality as a DJ for PLR, no, then that would be fine. But that's what I'm saying. That would be fine. I'm not on the show. So the morning show thing, all that's doing is two things. One, people that listen to the morning show and see that go, oh yeah, I forgot that guy was funny. How come he's not in the show and be annoying? Or two, the show or the station's morning show or people on that can be like, why is this asshole making jokes? We're the thing that makes the joke. He's not on the morning show. So it's even, if you keep relating it to the show, which is natural, that makes me even more of an asshole to do it. If it's just Pat Oates in the afternoon or Pat Oates on the weekend, who's funny, that's one thing. But if you're thinking of my personality on the show, I haven't been, and I've been asked not to be. I don't know why. I've just been not asked back on the show since February.
I think it's just who you are as a human. And I
right. No, but I'm just saying that part makes me, if some people do see that as like, oh, it's the guy that used to be on the mornings, and that's the first thing they think, then I'm being even more piece of shit.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Might be a strike, but I'm not going to hold it against you completely for the reason we talked about earlier. Coke was great at getting their product in commercials.
Like, when did we talk about Coke? You meant soda, like before.
Soda, yeah.
It's like, I don't do Coke. Fuck you, there's another strike. People think I do Coke.
No. The cola. It was so good at getting subliminal placement in TV shows, commercials, everywhere that it got to the point that anyone who was drinking something on TV was drinking a Coke. And that's how it got the anybody who's looking at this, the views it's getting, the likes and attention, it's all taking them to one page, PLR, and doing exactly what the article intended, which is highlighting all these other acts that are still going to be there and a great opportunity. So I would say, for me, the piece of shit in the story is Dave Grohl. If he reads this joke and says, I'm never coming back to Connecticut, then he's never been to Connecticut. Then he's never been there because there are so many other reasons why you would never go back to Connecticut. The fact that of the 4 women painted on their WNBA team, 2 of them started it last night, that would be a reason never to go back to Connecticut. The fact that everybody drives slow. It says it's illegal to go below 45, but there we are, all in bumper to bumper, not moving traffic. don't go to Connecticut for that reason.
Well, traffic, but I mean, we get tons of speeding tickets.
Yeah, well, I would love to see that footage. That's all I'm going to
I
say.
can show you tickets I have.
No, I just want to know what road it's on because.
Oh, not the Merit or 91. No, but,
exactly.
but
No, but you get my point. Like, it's Dave Grohl. Just play your concert. Like you said, at the concert, nobody in Connecticut, half the people won't care. The other half don't know.
Oh, I think they will. I actually think a lot of people aren't going to go. I think.
Oh, really?
Last year they didn't. Alanis Morissette was great. John Mayer is from this area. Tickets did not sell until the Chili Peppers were announced. At the end of the day, it's to see an awesome band that you wouldn't normally see in not a smaller setting, but an outdoor festival setting. The Foo Fighters just had an album come out. They're a part of a huge tour. They weren't coming to Connecticut. They did Citi Field and they did Fenway. So we didn't think we were getting them. And then they were popping in for one fucking thing. So people were like, holy shit. And they were going to come see this. I think a lot of people are going to ask for refunds. And I don't know if they're going to give refunds or not. But it's a festival in 2 days. But if you bought the Sunday one, you bought it to see the fucking Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, yeah. No, what I meant was people won't care that what Dave did. They'll just be excited to see the Foo Fighters. Like, I don't think people are asking for refunds if they already got the tickets, is my point. Just play the show. I would love to think that. But I think because of the way, and this kind of going to go into what Kevin just wrote, and I'm going to get into that in a second. I think perception is the problem. If you're saying 2 months ago, I'm going to see the soundtrack because the Foo Fighters there, everyone's like, oh, it's fucking awesome, Dave Grohl, whatever. But now they're like, oh, did you hear he cheats on his wife? You're going to go see that guy who cheats on his wife? And then they start to feel weird. Like should I go see that? I'm not supporting some guy cheating on his wife, but it's just because it was the one thing put in the media because he wasn't in the media. The last time he was in the news was Taylor died. You know what I mean? The drummer, and then they had to get a new drummer. That's the last time the Foo Fighters really talked about, besides the tour. But real news being out there was when the drummer of that died, Taylor August died. So they wouldn't tell those people. What if I told you he's not like the others? What if I told you he's not just another?
Yeah, I would just say he's a pretender.
You're fake. You're the pretender. Well,
once he cheated on his wife, the girl he cheated with said, "There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes." And then he walked out with a giant hand. He's like, I'm like, all right, the Everlong video. It's like, but people are like that. Now, what Kevin's saying, no, that's not what I said. And now I'm not shitting on you, Kevin. We love you when you comment, but the word canceled has to fucking be canceled. I'm getting fucking tired of the word canceled. I didn't say I was going to get canceled. I said they would take me off the show. Because as an AJ, and a lot of morning shows don't want like some kind of cheap sex joke at 6:30 a.m. Howard Stern did it so much back in the day that a lot of people try to pull back. I'm not saying they would say no. They probably laugh and then look at me in the break and go, really? Like, we got 8 advertisers coming up and you're really doing a pull-out joke. And also, we're a music station and we play a lot, not only Dave Grohl, but a lot of the artists represented by an agency that gives us music. Can you not talk about their infidelity, please, as a guest on our morning show? It's just business. But I wouldn't be fucking canceled. They wouldn't like take it. No one gets canceled. No cancel is death. That's canceled. You can live your life and not be on social media. That's the only way you can cancel someone. Oh, now, hey, guess what? What's his name? The fucking frogs are gay. What's his name? Frogs
Alex
are gay.
Jones.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones, yeah. I can't do business on the internet, but he doesn't die as a human. He can do other things. And we all lived before the internet. You couldn't cancel a guy back in the 70s. You could maybe not let him go do a thing, but no one even knew. You know what I mean?
Canceled a couple of Kennedys in 69.
That's death, like I'm saying.
No, I agree.
That's the only way to cancel. So, I wouldn't have been canceled. I just know they would have been frowned upon is what I really meant. Like, I've been, get out of here. More than likely, they just would have gone Waka Waka and then moved on. I mean, to be honest with you.
But what Dave Grohl's new song should be called Waka Waka, Let's Move On.
Waka Waka Flame. He should be in there with them.
He goes, motherfucking
my piece of shit in this is me. I'm better than that joke. It's cheap. I usually wait 3 seconds and I write something better. I saw it. I'm like, fuck it. And yes, I did it with the intent of going, I hope my radio station says something about this. 1 billion%. And I did it just did it to remind them, hey, I can be funny on the spot like I used to be fucking 9 months ago. Here you go. So it's me being an attention whore in someone else's moment, being a piece of shit. And right now, I refreshed it. The entire post has about 60 likes, and mine's got 45. So we're neck and neck. It's just like the post to me. So
Well, I'm gonna go like that real quick. Just up those numbers for you.
thanks, bud. And while you're doing that, why don't you get your little story?
Yeah, I've got it ready to go. Let me start reading a while. Don't drink the water, Pat. In early
Man,
September.
I'm having coffee, so it's all right.
Well, that's good. Because in early September 2024, the Queens Midtown Tunnel of New York City's busiest transit routes faced an unexpected closure due to flooding. Water began pouring in the tunnel, disrupting the daily
real quick,
commute.
not to be, I'm not being a dick. I'm just being real for clarification. You mean New York, or you mean like is this an English thing that was the Queens Tunnel?
No, the New York City Queens Midtown Tunnel.
I'm an idiot. For a minute, I'm like, is it London or did it? And I'm like, I shouldn't say it out loud.
No. You're not the only one.
All right.
So water began pouring into the tunnel. And if you don't know, this is like one of the main ways into the city. So it would shut down a morning commute. And it disrupted the daily commute of around 90,000 drivers. Initially, MTA crews believed a broken water main was the problem. But as the hours passed and they couldn't figure out where it was, one MTA worker took a rather unconventional step to determine what was happening. They tasted the leaking water.
Wow.
The key moment came when the worker identified the water as salty. This confirmed the liquid wasn't from the city's freshwater system, but was in fact leaking in from the East River. The East River, a tidal estuary connecting the New York Harbor to the Long Island Sound, is known for its briny water. That means like salt-ish.
Oh, I know. I live right near the Long Island Sound. You don't want to go in that bitch.
No. The taste test, while unorthodox, provided the essential clue that redirected the investigation from a suspected water main break to a potential breach in the tunnel's structural integrity. Officials tracked the source of the leak to a construction project happening above the tunnel. A barge involved in the drilling as part of the East Side Greenway expansion had accidentally pierced the tunnel wall, kind of like Dave Grohl. Workers operating the drill had reached a depth of 50 feet beneath the riverbed, striking the tunnel, which led to river water flooding into the tunnel. Fearing further structural damage, officials decided to close the tunnel. So, Pat, I got to ask you, who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it the guy? Like, on one hand, it is brilliant to realize if I taste this and it's salty, it's not what we're looking for, and I've solved the problem. So, on the other hand, that's the worst feeling in the world, knowing you just tasted East River water. Like you said, it's disgusting. You don't want anything to do with that. That is not what he wanted to taste. So is it him for tasting the water? Is it the guy who he went to 90 times and was like, this doesn't look like water main water. This is salty water. East River, yeah, he does wish it was sewage. Very good point. Like, so is it the guy he went to, his boss, and was like, no, we're looking for the wrong thing. And the guy just kept saying no so much that he finally tasted and went, fucker, it's salty. We've all been that frustrated in whatever job we're doing where you know you're right, nobody will listen to you. So is it them? Is it the people who heard there was water going into the tunnel and didn't initially investigate the drilling happening directly above it? I'm not a construction guy, but the minute I see water, I go, is anybody drilling near this tunnel? It's probably them. Or is it me? Because all I could think was there would have been a lot of flooding before we got to me tasting any of that GD water. Pat, who's your piece of shit?
It's not the people that you said should have looked into other stuff. Remember, when it comes to anything with the city or the state, all you're going to hear is that's above my pay grade. Like, no one's ever going to do a thing it's not theirs. They're not. I'm not a drilling guy. That's someone else that does the drilling stuff. If I mention drilling, then that takes away jobs from me not drilling. So I'm not drilling. So it's the laziness that we've built into what's wonderfully called unions. That haha, shots fired. Fucking piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. I want one thing to go, that one clip. It was like, watch this controversial guy. But it's not that. I wouldn't know what to do if shit was leaking. I'd be like, I've seen things leak. Like, if you ever been like at a restaurant and you see like the pipes like underneath, there's a little drip here. I don't run to the restaurant and go, it's dripping. I go, they'll figure it out. I go eat. Like, yeah. I'm not a hero. I'm not a good Samaritan. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not dealing with it. It's not the person who tasted it, but it's the person who went, I think that's salt. Because that means that they also probably thought something else. I'm wondering who tasted it, because I bet you their first thought wasn't the ocean, but their first thought was, oh man, that's jizz. Oh man, That's jizz. Some people are jizzing in the water. I don't know what to do. We should call up the New York Post and let them know jizzing in the water. Let them know what's going on here. Let's hope it rolls into a river. And then they're like, no, it goes into the East River. And someone goes, that's also a river. It's not salt. They're like, yeah, but that goes into Long Island Sound. Like, that's a sound. Is the sound salty? It's like, I don't know. You sound salty. And they go, oh, a good one. And then they both laugh and have a beer. And then there's salt in their beer. Like, there's cum in my beer. Who keeps coming in all our stuff? The water. It's the person who tasted it and thought cum first and not water.
I do like that. I do also like the thought of them using estuary in the story, because if any of the construction workers did that, they were getting called the F word.
Yeah.
For me, the piece of shit.
And the F word for gays, not the F word for sex.
Either one. F and F, probably.
Probably, yeah, double whammy.
Double down, split those aces. For me,
the sex one first and then the gay. Because the other way around is crazy. I want to call people that. Come here, you faggot fuck. Like, that's fun. That means you're not gay. You're the thing that gays fuck.
That's even worse, I think. I don't know.
Come here, used thing.
For me, it's the guy who tasted it. If you're smart enough to realize tasting it will tell you the difference, you're smart enough to test the salinity of water without using your tongue. That said, I can't talk too much shit about this guy. Because, Pat, I competed in something called Envirothon. Do you know what that is? No. Envirothon. So it was environment and ecology, and it was a team of 5, and there were 5 subjects. One was trees and woodwork. One was soil. That's big for this. I forget what the other 2 were. And then there was current events. That's what I did. And current events was a debate. And we ended up taking 5th in the state one year. But we weren't the best team. We weren't the best, most knowledgeable, but we were the best team. So in the soil thing, what you have to do is you spray it with water to identify what type of, that's the new methodology. Old methodology is you just take little bites. So we would pretend like we would do that.
The soil?
Yeah. So you could taste it and know exactly what it is. We would pretend like we would do that.
Dirt.
Yeah. And you'd let it drool down and stare at the other team. And then you'd tell your analysis. Yeah. Like, like a football player, you're intimidating them. And then you would say the wrong soil. So they'd write down the wrong note and you would have the right answer.
Jeez.
So for me, that's, I guess it's me. The basis for comparison for this water tasting to work has to be unhealthy. This is like, I could see that. But if he's saying it came from the water, man, they said it would be fresh water. That's how he would know. I don't know. I'm not like I said, I would have found another way to prove I was right before it involved me drinking seawater.
Yeah. I don't think, every time they get to the point where it's like something bad is happening, they're like, we realize that it tastes like this. It's like, who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is taste guy? Like, I've been at many jobs and I've had many roles in jobs, but I've never had any of my descriptions like, hey, some shit's going down. Would you mind tasting something? I'm like, nah, I will not taste that. But some guys just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what it is. I know guys like that. I know people that will bleed. And then go, oh, is that my blood? And then taste it. Like, how the fuck do you know what your blood tastes like compared to other people's blood?
Why do you have a basis of comparison?
I'm guessing the kid who eats boogers is the guy who grows up to be, I taste the salt water.
I could see that. All I know is I don't go down on women, let alone drink seawater.
I don't know how you can say those 2 things together.
It's a C, like the letter C water.
Well, no. The C in water is S-E-A.
Yeah, it's a play on words. It's a little word play.
Go down on women. That's why women don't look up to you.
They don't. Trust me.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say to you, my friend. Sometimes you got to fucking get off your high horse there, Chief, and drink from the trough. And by the way, all women out there, I did not just call your vagina a trough.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
that's my new name.
Was a bib involved? I hope so. I hope you had to gurgle it like wine and spit it out. Manhattan.
Like, you could absolutely smell it, I'm sure.
What the taste of their motor? By the way, is this racist to be shocked that when I went to like a mom and pop oil, get my oil changed today at some place, and then when the guy came out and said it's all done, he was Asian. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what are you doing?
You adopted?
I mean, he spoke regular style, but still, I was like, whoa.
Is that an innuendo?
That was his name. Oh, it's me, Yin Uendo. Oh, hello, Yin Uendo, here for your motor change. Royal. Oh, you're royal dirty. Want a roof job?
Oh God, that would be a nice convenience.
What up,
Oil
Kish?
change, rub and tug. What up, Kish, Kish, Kish?
Oh, Kish, hello, honorable Kish. All right. I'm probably gonna do something that I shouldn't do. Is that okay? You got something to promote first.
Yes, November 23rd, the Laughing Stock Comedy Club. Come see me.
November
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
23rd. Is that like a Wednesday or something? It's
No,
a Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
It is. November 23rd, I'm going to be a guest on the finals of the Shitty Song of the Week podcast that they do all year long. They did me and a couple other guests, and they take all the ones every week. They vote what's the shittiest songs of the week, battling 2 songs. At the end, they make a bracket like March Madness, and they go through it, and I'll be involved in that thing. So that'll be a fun day.
Hell yeah. Make sure you guys check that out if you can't get to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Or you can do both. You can listen to something while you're driving.
Listen on the way. Oh my God, party in PA.
It's not a seeing thing, it's a fucking listening thing. All right. Okay. First of all, I and Bobby appreciate all our listeners on the podcast. We do. And I also appreciate all of you that follow us on social media. And I've recently back on Twitter, and that one's fine because people just write wild shit. Like Terry was sharing something before. I saw today that Elon Musk has made a joke about with Alex Jones getting more trouble with the fucking they're going to sell his house to make him pay, take his house to make him pay for all the Sandy Hook families because he hasn't been able to pay all those things off. And they're just trying to drain this man. He said statements, but he should not have to fucking, it's insane what they're doing. Yes, he said something fucked up, but to fucking now do this, they're just going after a person for no fucking reason. It's just the power of the left being a certain fucking way. So Elon Musk made a joke recently today, kind of a joke, I think. And he said, wouldn't it be hilarious if I did something? And everyone knows what that means. He's going to buy InfoWars. I mean, I think he's floating that out there. I think to say like, you know, they'd have to, because that's the 2 things you'd have to sell. You'd have to sell InfoWars and have to sell the house to pay off these things. Or Elon Musk is going to pay his bar tab for the Sandy Hook people, which would be even more funny. And he gives an extra $100 million and goes, do it again.
I double dog dare you. And by double dog, here's double what they sued you for last time.
Say raining frogs made your shot kids gay. Do it. Fucking do it. But, so I was saying all that to say, when some people follow me on Facebook, I get to see their stuff too. Now, I don't follow a lot of people. They follow me, and I unfollow a lot of people. But some people, I keep in there. And some of them are our listeners because they're cool people, and they chat with us, and sometimes they share clips. Some of you guys are also podcasters and things, so I pay attention to your stuff. We have a guy who comes on here and makes comments all the time. Scott Fitzpatrick. He does the thing, and he also always asks people, and he made a montage the other day of like what he called like the famous people that he asked questions to. And I was put in the montage. Maybe you were too, Bobby. I'm not sure, but
Yep.
like, yeah. So we're famous, which we're not. But Bob Levy, people like that. That he asked the question if a gay monkey was on your back, would you leave it or beat it off? And it's this big thing he does. He's done this show here. I've been on the show with him and Bobby Fran. Nice guy, funny. The only guy with worse Wi-Fi that I ever had. The Wi-Fi is real fucking bad. But like anyway, let me find the thing. So
I got to be honest. As you're finding the thing, I'll say this: the more you give him compliments, the more nervous I'm getting about whatever this story is, because it feels like you're weighing out karma evenly. And yes,
no. He is not a criminal. He's not doing anything wrong. Whatever. But once in a while, he'll share a lot of things about his podcast, stuff like that. So I'll just get in my news feed his podcast. But once in a while, other things from him pop up. And then, like at the beginning of the month, I remember seeing something. And he would just start. He's making these like vague threats or things at this woman, and I don't know who it is. So it'll be like, watch a podcast with me and Bobby Nick and Juggaletta Jen and all this. And the next thing is, I'll meet you here tomorrow, Donna McLaren. Do the right thing. And then it's like, come listen to my podcast. Here's clips of me saying the monkey thing. And then it's like, Did you all know that my mother stole my guitars and everything I own, and now she blocked me to hide from it and to protect her daughter? Don't dare tell me to respect my parents. Just wait to see what this lady has done. That you know what we're here to do. Learn Donna has been a bad mom. Isn't that right, mommy? And then it's like, listen to my podcast. There's clips, podcast. And then it's like, her daughter and her mom is a pill popping trash whore that steals from their family. Spread the word. And then it's like, listen to my podcast. Got clips here, monkey on the back, whatever. I hate that steal from me. People that steal from me. Why would you do such a thing, mom? It's like NASCAR experiences. I think it's an ad, but and then it's like, why do you have my property, mom? What did I tell my kids? What do you have my guitars? Why do you have I want my clothes, my coat, my shoes. Your shoes? Why does you have your shoes? Then it's like, listen to the chill cast, which by the way is hilarious that that's the name of it. It's always like, fuck you, mom, and then chill. Fuck you, mom. Give my shoes. Chill. So I kind of like that. I haven't said anything. I kind of read it. I don't look into it. I'm just like, what's going on? For a while, I just saw it, and I wasn't putting two and two together that it was that guy. I was just like, oh, just evolved. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that was Scott Patrick? Then it's like, oh, check out my podcast, Funnies number 24. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Then it's like, Chillcast. Yeah, Chillcast. I'm like, oh, good, he's done doing this. It's like Wendy from Howard Stern came on our show. Retard Wendy, whatever. Then it's another Lunatic Lounge show. He has a lot of different shows. And he's like, here's one about, pumpkins or something. I don't know. And a bunch of other things. It's all fun. And it's Chillcast. I'm like, and it was a whole bunch for days and days. I'm like, oh, good. He's done doing all this stuff. And it just keeps going. And it's fine. And it's like, oh, how about this show with JDZ? I know that is. And then it's 12 hours ago. Don McLean is a pill-popping thief. I hope you burn in hell for stealing my shoes. By the way, spelled stealing wrong, which really makes you mad. Two E's. That's worse than all this.
She turned his shoes to steal?
Yes, steal shoes. My coat, my guitar, and everything I used to own. What kind of mother does this? And it goes off and off. So I was reading that. I'm like, wait, is that Scott Fitzpatrick guy who asks people if they have a monkey on their back and they're going to have gay sex with it, whatever? I'm like, that can't be that guy. So I hit the comments. And one guy just wrote stealing, but spelled properly. Which, by the way, that guy rules. And then someone else wrote, obviously a family member, I'm sick of seeing these posts about your family. Everyone has family drama. No need to post on Facebook. No one wants your shit. No one wants your shit. Hurts more than I think it should. No. When you have shit, it's like no one wants that shit, and it's valuable to you. That sucks. But yeah. You don't have anything to steal. If you're worried about it, then you should have probably notified the police or do an adult thing and talk to them instead of making posts, whatever. And no one knows the full story. For anyone interested, these people don't do pills. They're fine. He was living in her spare room. She threw him out. He could probably ask and schedule a time to get his shit. Cut the shit. And I don't know why, but it made me laugh because all I could think of is that he would write underneath that, let me just ask you one question, lady. If a gay monkey was on your back, would you leave it there and be like, I want this to go to court to the point where the judge is there. It's like, now we bring Scott Fitzpatrick to the stand.
Your Honor, I got one question.
Your Honor, may I ask one question quick? Yes, you can, sir. Your Honor, and I mean this is all due respect. If a gay monkey was on your back, would you leave it or would you beat it off? And he's like, I solemnly swear that I would beat it off. It's like, I win. It's like, that's how this works.
Your Honor, have I answered all your questions satisfactory? Well, then I'd like to play this Uno reverse card and with one question for you.
Would you beat?
Son,
who's the piece of shit in this story?
Off.
Is it me for sharing this story? We do the news thing. It's not that I wasn't looking for it. I'm not trolling in any way. I hope you get your stuff, Scott. I hope your mom isn't a pill popping whore, whatever the fuck it is. I hope your aunt's not mean. I want everything good for Scott. I'm just like, I see this. It's posted. He's writing it on there, and it's just like crazy. Along with a thing called Chillcast, and from a guy who's just like chilling. And then before the podcast, I ran this by you, Bobby, and I said, hey, should we do this? And I go, and I was saying to you, how I've never really seen a picture of him because it's always blurry and stuff. I said to you, how old do you think he is? Now, I'm not kidding. When I didn't reveal this part to you, but when I said that to you, I thought he was like 25. And then you said 64.
I don't know if he's actually that old, but he's not
I
25.
know, but no, even if it's in the middle. I mean, the 64-year-old guy going on podcasts asking people to beat off a monkey
is amazing.
That rules.
That's my retirement plan.
That's your retardament plan.
No, that's amazing. I hope to write a bit that good in my life, buddy.
But isn't me for sharing this story? But it was juicy. I couldn't help it. I don't usually get into this shit, but when I said this, I was like, what the fuck is going on with the guy with the chill cast or whatever?
Yeah.
Is it Scott for like every day putting his mom on blast on these? I think I'm just laughing because I have a very good relationship with my mom, and I couldn't imagine putting her on blast. Hey, Mom, thanks for not folding my clothes when I was 12. Fuck you. Eggplant emoji, wet emoji, you emoji.
Mom, I wish you were actually dead.
Or just my mom's, an emoji of my mom, and then an emoji of pills, and then an emoji of popcorn popping.
Jesus.
Is it Scott's mom? Give him his stuff.
Yeah.
He's tagging. I'm coughing, but he's tagging you in post. Just give him the shit. He's nuts. Do whatever it is. It'll be in a bag out front. Here's your swords. Whatever.
It doesn't seem like he's asking for a ton either.
Isn't the other family members like nobody cares about your shit? That lady wins comment. That's the Husey of the day. I'm sorry. Nobody cares about your shit. He does. He obviously cares about it. He's posting about it. Or is it you, Bobby, for giving me the green light to do the story? Because I did ask. It's like, I mean, to be fair, you didn't know what the story was.
I didn't know all the details, so I'm going to give myself a pass.
All right,
I'm also going to give you a pass because I don't think you were making fun of somebody. I think you were reporting on a story, and that's what we do here. It was a fun, topical story. It's not Scott. Look, the United States justice system is built on this idea that you're innocent until proven guilty. That's gone away a lot these days, but it is what it's supposed to be. That's not my personal justice system, right? I know Scott. And in any interaction I've had with him, he's been nothing but polite and courteous to me. He's, like you said, he makes fun clips. He's been great on everything. So
nice
as far as I'm concerned, give Scott back his shoes and guitars, you pill popping.
He needs shoes.
Save Scott from his mom. Yeah, rally the troops. Get this woman to give him his stuff back. He's not asking for the world. He just wants his shoes.
Should we help?
Good dude. That's what I'm doing. This is a plea to the people.
No, but I mean, like, should we like start full on attack to Donna McLaren?
No, we should stay out of this one.
Okay.
I don't know all the details, but we should stay out of this one.
You just said you just talked through your teeth on a podcast. It's the greatest thing about that.
Let's just stay out of this one.
Holy shit. I do think the piece of shit is the mom. The mom's got to be the adult here. Scott, obviously, if you ever thought Scott was going to be mature, can you pay attention to your boy? The man on everything he does goes, hey, I got one question for you. And it's I love you, Scott, but it's the lamest fucking. You got a monkey on your back or you fucking gay, whatever it is. You think that guy's going to mature up? You think that guy's not going to be the guy who's supposed to be on Cops every other week?
Like, and I'm not going to ask Babe Ruth to stop hitting home runs. All right? I know what he does.
Of course he's mad he's not allowed in his room anymore.
Let him in his room, man.
Just give him his shit. Shoes and a coat and a guitar. He's trying to be fucking Jay and Silent Bob together. Give him his shit.
Can I add one more person to my piece of shit that you've added?
Oh, yeah. I'll do whatever you want.
I think you're right on track. It's also the family member. In the time it took you to write that Husey award-winning comment, you could have just been halfway to bringing Scott his stuff.
I bet she doesn't want to deal with it, man.
You think she had her teeth like this too?
Yeah, I think she after about 10 comments, she's like me. We're like, someone's got to do something.
But as far as
Kevin always agrees with me on this. Yeah, it's time for goons. I don't know if Scott has to get goons to get his stuff, or if the mom has to get goons to take care of Scott. But someone needs goons.
Goon squad. What I think is very funny is that you use the 90s version of the word goon, but do you know it's been reinvented and to
gooning?
Yeah. I just thought it was very
It's
funny.
not goon, but gooning is not really a 90s event. Gooning is the English version of jerking off.
Oh, I didn't realize that was where it came from. I just
Yeah, you're like
seen it
wank.
take over.
Gooning is that. It's like you. So Kevin, I know 2 words put together, but I like that though. What you don't know about the story is that he's not allowed in because of the monkey.
Oh, that's amazing. Well done, Kevin.
Kevin wins. Kevin's had a couple big hits today, but Kevin's used the award several times over. He even beats the mom, which someone needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
You got one more? Or you want to get out of here?
I got one more. I think it's equally as entertaining. It's called
Okay.
this.
By the way, Scott, when you hear this flavor, love you. You've been
Yeah,
fun.
I got your
And I
back.
didn't realize that one of our bigger fans is related to. I don't know how that whole fucking podcast and your fucking incestual bullshit goes. But to all you people, I'm not shitting on you. It was just, it's sitting there. I guess don't let me follow you on Facebook if you don't want me to see you and your mom fucking go at it.
And if you need help with repoing, Scott, you let me know. I got your back.
But Bobby, if we are going to cut a clip from this show,
Yeah,
it's this.
it's a good one. It is a good one. That's a spicy salsa, and this salsa is spicy. The bizarre and unsettling incident in Cumberland County involved Delitzo Sakala, the 22-year-old Carlisle man who threw salsa jars at customers and employees, is raising questions about what could have motivated such a dramatic outburst. While the police report focuses on the details of the chaoses and the charges against him, the motivations behind Sakala's actions remain unclear. There are several possible explanations worth considering, each offering a potential insight into what might have triggered this behavior. One possibility is that Sakala was experiencing a mental health crisis. The erratic nature of his actions, from jumping on cars and damaging windshields to storming into the grocery store, breaking an entrance door, and launching salsa jars at random, suggests a degree of emotional or psychological instability. People in the midst of a mental health breakdown can sometimes act in unpredictable and dangerous ways, and public disturbances like this can be a manifestation of internal turmoil. If Sakala was undergoing severe stress, anxiety, or even delusional thinking, his violent outburst could have been an expression of his mental state at the time. Another potential factor could be drug or alcohol intoxication. Intoxicated individuals can lose control of their inhibitions, leading to aggressive or nonsensical behavior. The escalation from vandalism to the street to violence inside the grocery store might indicate a loss of control, often seen in those under the influence of substances. While no mention of intoxication was made in the police report, this is a common factor in incidents involving public disorders and psychological whatever the last word is there.
Nice.
It's a long verbose
That's
article.
how I read too. And this other thing.
I got the gist. Social or economic pressures could also be a possible motivator. If Sakala had been experiencing personal crisis, such as financial hardship, unemployment, or relationship stress, it's conceivable that he reached a breaking point. In such scenarios, frustrations and feelings of helplessness can manifest in extreme behaviors as individuals who feel cornered lash out at their surroundings. Another interpretation could be rooted in a desire for attention or protest. It's not unheard of for individuals to cause public disturbances as a form of protest, albeit in extreme and often misguided ways. If Sakala felt powerless or angry at some aspect of society, his actions might have been an attempt to express that dissatisfaction, even if it was done in a chaotic and violent manner.
Worst combo.
Who is the piece of shit in this story, Pat? Is it Sakala? He ran through a parking lot, jumped on cars, smashed windshield, and then kicked the door down to the grocery store, got inside, and then kind of crouched on top of, like, you've been to the grocery store, you know they have shelves.
I just went today. They do have shelves there.
He was standing on the top of the shelf, crouching, and he would wait till people came by and just drill him with salsa. So is it him for that? That's a little crazy. But is it funny? Yes. So is it him? Is it the grocery store? You let the guy kick through the front door and then you lost sight of him? Like when the guy breaks your front door, that should be the point at which he gets stopped, right? We shouldn't progress to him now hiding in the salsa aisle. I'm not saying the grocery stores are filled with the world's best and brightest. I was just at the Middletown grocery store and went, why does everybody here look like a stereotype of people in Middletown? But that's your home base. Somebody kicks down a door. There is your opportunity to take out any frustration you've ever had with your job. Go for it. It's the perfect opportunity. Or is it this article that really didn't give details, but
Yeah.
more tried to give an explanation?
I was hoping for a lot more.
I can see if I can find up a different coverage of the story.
No. I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? It really felt like we were going to get a lot more salsa tossing.
I couldn't agree with you more. I do like the salsa tossing, though. It was CBS 21 who wrote this article. I just wanted to check the actual.
Well, at least they're of age.
Yeah. Nobody wants that CBS 16.
Yeah, because CBS does stand for colored boy sex. So you don't want that at 16.
So police officers were called to the 200 block of the street. After receiving reports of someone jumping on cars and damaging windshields, shortly after they received a call from the Giant reporting that a man broke one of the entrance doors. Then they received another call that said he was hiding and throwing salsa at people. Sakala allegedly refused to stop when the officers ordered him to, instead getting into a fight with the officers, injuring one of them and when they tried to arrest him.
That's a hard thing to say, what Kevin did.
Salsa salt.
Salsa salt. It's pretty good. I think, Kevin, you might have named the name of the podcast.
Or Terry. Terry has a pretty good comment there.
Hold on. Let me go to it. I took it off for a second. That Giant is a shithole?
No, there's an area in Carlisle I call Carlum.
Oh, nice. Carlisle. Okay. Salsa sodomy's not bad. Everyone's doing good. Everybody's doing great.
We're hitting some home runs.
The piece of shit. Nope. I was trying to follow. I'm sorry if I missed something. This was a regular grocery store, but it's a different country, though.
No, this was in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. This is a story local to me.
Okay, good. So the piece of shit in this story, to me, is the security of the grocery store. Because I went to a ShopRite today. Oh, the Stop and Shop near my house, I'm not in a great area. The Stop and Shop at my house is closing. There's a bunch of Stop and Shops closing in Connecticut. Like a bunch of them. They're taking away. And a lot of the crackheads would go to
You know what I say real quick? Stop shop, shut them down. We're closing up shop.
Yeah, closing up shop. They're closing, and a lot of the crackheads in the area would go to that Stop and Shop, and the other crackheads would go to ShopRite. Now that Stop and Shop is closing, all the crackheads go to ShopRite, and I don't normally go to ShopRite. I don't want to go to ShopRite because literally years ago I dated somebody who got banned from ShopRite, which is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. What? Wow. But anyway.
Impressive.
People in there with needles in their arms and you can't come in? Okay, fun. Anyway, so I was there today and I almost took a picture of this guy, but he looked like he wouldn't be happy about it. He was like 5'4", 5'5", and he was wearing a suit that must have been his fat dad's suit. You know when somebody wears a suit that's like 2 sizes bigger? And he's wearing a full-on suit, like he's an usher at a fucking funeral. So that's Kevin. I'm happy you said that. No salsa, no salt. It's Mexico. That's why I thought it was in Mexico. Because I was like, then it's okay. That's how they fight. If it's in America, no. But he's got a suit that's way too big. He's got a giant walkie-talkie. He's got a name tag on the suit, which, by the way, bad fucking look. You got a suit on, you can't have a name tag on. We should just look at you and think big time. If you have a name tag on the suit, you diminish the fucking suit right the fuck away. And he's just walking around like looking at people going, you okay? What are you doing? Were you getting cancer soup? Like he's just being security in a fucking ShopRite. Now, this guy wasn't spry or tough or anything, but man, he wouldn't have let anybody get in those shelves. This motherfucker would have fucking seen a guy up there and said, nope, no salsa for you. You would have been, you're not going there. You better pace yourself. Get it? Salsa joke. Anyway, so.
Bitch, who do you think you are? The Kool-Aid man buzzing through my wall like that?
You're putting the gross in groceries. Sit the fuck down. I'm not doing this at all. Man. Paper or plastic, coffin. Like, what? But yeah, it's security for not being able to stop that. No one should be able to Donkey Kong their way into a grocery store. You can't get up there. Once you get up there, there's no stopping. I know if I work there, once he's, like we were saying before, with the tunnel and all that shit in the water, I'm walking by that. And there's a guy up, I'm like, that is above my pay and above my head. Both above my head. I am not dealing with salsa chucker. You know what I mean? At all.
Now, when you worked in retail, did you ever have those fantasies? Like some days when we had a big truck or a big project, that was how we would kill time at Dick's. Like if this store was to be taken over by robbers, how would we save the store?
Oh, we were asked that in our thing we had to do about like if things happen. Like when you get, we had a big meeting about it. If someone comes, because I got hired, remember, during COVID.
Yeah.
So they were worried about a lot of things happening, but they're like, if someone comes in here and robs the place, we need you guys to, want you to, get everyone out of the way of harm, but also get yourself out of the way of harm, and don't interact. They said, but if you need to, you can throw things at them. And I was like, wait, what? they're like, well, if they feel like they have a gun and you need to stop them, I go, well, what if you're like in the pillow department? Do you have to run to a better? I go, by the way, I'm not throwing anything at anyone with a gun. I go, and then they said, well, what would you do in a situation? And I said, I would sneak around the back of them, put on a mask and go, sorry guys, I'm late. Boss sent me, I'm with you guys, and then leave safe.
You were what we would call a Gallagher at Dick's. That was our Benedict Arnold.
Watermelons?
That was our Benedict Arnold, the guy who was going to betray us. No, his name was Mike. He's a good dude. But no, ours, usually we would have that meeting where they'd be like, and the number one rule, do not engage. If people are shooting people in the store, you are not allowed to unlock the guns. We were like, all right, cool. We'd have that meeting and get out and be like, all right, so what's our real plan? But the reason I think the piece of shit in this story is CBS 21, Pat, is because as I was scrolling through that story, because if I see a headline about man throwing salsa, I know if anybody in the world's going to love that story, it's going to be Pat Oates.
Yeah.
I saw a picture and I was like, God, that looks like my friend's mom. Like she's a little older. And I'll leave her name out, but I just want to read the story because I clicked on it. It is my friend, not her mom.
Oh, we got to get him on the show.
No, this is a girl.
We can have girls on the show. We've done it.
Not the one throwing salsa. I'm sorry. I saw another article that the headline picture, they put the picture on the side of the story. Right. Look like my friend. We may not be able to get
but she's
her.
part of the article. So,
well, let me just read what her headline is. Edder's woman accused of driving away after seriously injuring two pedestrians. A driver is facing charges after allegedly striking two people in the township. Her name was arrested after investigating into the crash, according to Fairview Township Police. Police said that she hit two pedestrians in the 700 block of Salem Road, seriously injuring the victims. She is then accused of leaving the scene. Wonder what the difference between my friend from high school and Sakala could be as to get it was probably a mental health crisis, or maybe they were intoxicated justifications first.
So the friend's mom is the one that was running people over?
No, my friend just looked rough because it was her mugshot. She looked like her mom. I haven't seen her in a few years.
Oh, but it was her running people over.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So we get her on the show. We don't talk about this, but we just bring up crazy driving stories.
Ooh, I like that. I'll see what I can do. Unfortunately, according to that article, her bail has been rejected. So maybe Ben can tell us.
We will try our best. Once we're done getting Scott's stuff back, our next focus will be getting you out of jail. It's going to be tough to get the shoes back. But I hope, unlike his stuff, people don't think your shit's not worth it. I hope they do think that you're worth the shit.
No, I think she is worth the shit. But I like that we've discussed for a while pivoting the podcast a little bit. Now we're a true crime one. And today we're going to discuss
it's time. I think if we
Scott's
did POS, a true crime story.
We could get an interview from Scott, his sister, who's a pillhead, his mom.
I think we should start doing investigative work.
I like it. We've got our ace reporter, Terry D.
We won't, because that takes a lot more work than what we put in.
Well, let me see what we could do. Some of us have a little more free time on our hands.
Maybe we should solve cases that are already solved.
Yeah. I had a good friend of mine, Mike Bichetti, tell me last night that John Wilkes Booth did not kill Abraham Lincoln. It was a Southern general. And then there's all this evidence, and I'm just taking Mike's word for it because he seems to be an expert.
I had a friend once that in elementary school, when they said John Wilkes Booth, he said John Wilkes boobs, and everybody laughed real hard.
Still gets
Thanks,
me to
Matt
this day.
LaFrance. Matt LaFrance was killing it that day.
Matt, you're the shit. Maybe we can get him on here to write some
because
jokes.
John Wilkes boobs, and everybody just lost it. Even the teacher was like, "Good one,
Matt. Come here. You get an A.
pretty good." John Wilkes boobs. And on that note, Bobby, you got anything else you want to promote or whatever?
I told you guys November 23rd, a couple more dates coming soon. But until then, if you can't bet,
Well, no, I got you.
Me,
But,
tell Pat.
yeah, it's scrolling underneath, but at New York Comedy Club in Stamford, I'll be there on a nice, fun showcase at 9:30 tomorrow night. Before that, if you're in at the Durham Fair in Connecticut, it's our version of the Big E. It's a big one. If you're there tomorrow from 4 to 6, I will be there in the PLR tent saying hi. So I'm going to work all day, go over to the Durham Fair, leave the Durham Fair, and drive to the other side of Connecticut, Stamford, to do a comedy show before I work 2 doubles all weekend. So, yeah. So I wait till you see my energy on Tuesday. And also, Tuesday night, I'm going to see a concert with my girlfriend. So we'll do the show, but it'll be a quicker one. We'll do like an hour one, boom, bang it out, whatever. So,
Perfect.
But we'll have a lot of fun there. And thank you guys all for watching. I know our schedule's been wacky. It is still Tuesdays and Thursdays, but once in a while we get nuts and can't get the thing out there. But we appreciate you. Love you guys. Sorry, Scott, for whatever.
We'll be hitting you up for the
Dave,
podcast.
Sorry,
soon.
Dave Grohl. Sorry, Salsa King. Sorry, Bobby's friend who looks like her mom when she's rough. Sorry, everybody.
It's not a good look.
And if you can't Bobby them, then Bobby them.
Bye.
Oh no, you got. I think
If you can't join them,
hold on, do it slower. I gotta scroll. I gotta Dave scroll my way down to this fucking thing. Hey, Dave scroll. Where are you?
If you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.
POS show yo. POS show yo. Yo, it's POS.